Hey everybody, welcome into our NBA TV studios. I'm Kristen Ledlow alongside our Greg Anthony. The finals foes are set, and thus I'm sitting next to someone who's no stranger to basketball's biggest stage. We found some footage.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we did.
Y'all
we
went
unlocked
way
the
back
vault.
machine.
The 1994 finals. Your Knicks taking on the Houston Rockets.
Oh, a lot of bittersweet memories. A lot of great friends and comrades in that game, and obviously went up against a great Rockets team, and we just unfortunately came up just a little short.
Just a lot.
In that seventh game. That still haunts me. And, you know, I've been blessed to play this game a long time and have played on a lot of great arenas and a lot of great stages. And unfortunately, you remember the losses the most. So losing a championship my senior year and losing that seventh game against the Rockets, those are painful memories.
And probably nothing like that, right? Game one of the 2022 finals now set for Thursday in the Bay. Here's more from the Warriors and Celtics earlier today, starting with Ime Udoka on the challenge ahead.
We know what's in front of us. We know what we're here to play for. And, I don't think any of our guys are awed or, intimidated by the moment at all. And so we understand what it is. We know the opponent in front of us. And for us, as always, this year, it's been business as usual.
They have a good offense, and more importantly on offense, they have a guy that is one of them guys. Jaylen Brown is absolutely, a very good player, but Jason Tatum is one of them guys. And when you have that, you always have a chance of winning.
This is the NBA Finals, so Boston's one of the very best teams in the league, the number one defense. We're well aware of how good they are, and the main thing is focusing strategically on what we have to do to try to win and getting everybody healthy and ready to roll.
You've not only seen the biggest stage, but you've analyzed the athletes on it in all of the seasons since. So let's get your keys to this final series, because you're telling me that it starts with the stars.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Listen, without those stars, neither of these teams are going to be there. And you're talking about Steph Curry and Jason Tatum. And listen, they have incredible supporting cast. There's no doubt about it. But ultimately, the impact those two guys have, and they're going to do it differently. When you look at it, Steph Curry, I mean, he's a guy that his greatest ability is to play without the basketball. He puts tremendous pressure on defenders because typically you like to guard the ball. Well, Steph doesn't oftentimes allow you to do that because of how good he is without it and how well they are at playing to his strength of playing without the basketball. When he's able to relocate and get those screens from Draymond off on the move, he just puts a lot of pressure on the opposing defense.
And wears you out.
It really does. And that's why, Golden State's so difficult to guard. But on the flip of that, they have a guy, Jason Tatum, who's rapidly emerging as one of the very best in our league. And, what I love about him is how big he is in the biggest moments. He's had some duds this year, but after each one in the postseason, he's been able to respond in kind and play at the highest level. He's also been incredible on the road. You think about it, they just won 3 games in that 7-game series in the conference finals in Miami. Yeah. The fact that they had to go and win in Milwaukee in a 6th game. So he is built for the moment, and then it's going to come down to whether or not he can just be big enough when they need him, because there are going to be a few games in this series where how he plays may determine whether or not they win the title.
You've told me your second key to the series is going to come in the paint.
Yes. And it's interesting when you think about Golden State, they're going to play small, but they play really big on the interior. They do a terrific job of guarding the rim, not so much with shot blocking, but with bodies and rotation. And that's going to be key. And also because of the threat of the three and the fact that they invert, meaning they have their bigs on the exterior, it opens the floor up, and you're going to get a lot of opportunities to attack that rim. The difference being, this is going to be the first big team that they face with the Boston Celtics. Horford and also with Robert Williams. Those guys are very mobile. They're active. They can rotate. They can cover a lot of ground. So they're going to create some issues for Golden State that they really haven't seen in this postseason. And I think that's so important for Boston that they're able to maintain their size advantage, because I think that is their advantage really in this series. Can they be as effective playing big? And I think they can, but Golden State's a different animal. So I'm excited to see that chess game play out as we move forward in this series.
Third, You say this series could come down to who protects the ball each possession.
And it's so funny that both teams at times struggle with turnovers.
Yeah.
Right? In a lot of their losses, you can directly attribute it to their inability to take care of the basketball. With Golden State, I understand it because they throw more home runs. They're like a home run team. Their passing is what makes them special. Draymond is at the helm of that. They move it. They're going to take a lot of chances with their ability to move the ball. But when they do that, it creates a lot of live ball turnovers. And that's been an area where Boston, when they've been good, they've been able to get out in transition and take advantage of that. And then, so if you think about that, that's going to be really important for them. And if you flip it, it's going to be the same thing with Boston. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have had some woeful struggles of taking care of the basketball along with Marcus Smart. Those three guys, they've got to be better. If they can't take care of the basketball, I don't know that they're going to have a chance in this series. And I think their coach knows that, and I think this postseason has taught them the value of valuing the basketball.
You mentioned the chess match that this series will be. How important will each coach's approach be?
Oh, incredible and critical. And Steve Kerr's been here a lot of times as the guy that's got to make that decision. Ime has been in those situations, but in a different seat. It's a little bit different when you now are the guy that has final say. And I think he's done an incredible job of rallying these guys. But Steve Kerr has as well. And I think it comes down to, okay, who are you going to trust? Because there are going to be stretches where you have to play guys off the bench. And both benches for stretches have been really good. And it looks like they're going to get Gary Payton II back for Golden State in this series. That's going to also give Steve Kerr some more flexibility in how he can match up. And similarly, when you look at this Boston team, how well Derek White has played for them off the bench, and Grant Williams. Those two guys you know are going to play significant minutes. If they have the kind of impact we've seen this postseason, Boston could very well be claiming that championship.
But speaking of experience, a stunning total of 123 player games of NBA Finals experience, not postseason experience, Finals experience amongst the Golden State Warriors. Not a single player on the Celtics side have seen a stage this big. How crucial could that experience be?
Well, the experience always helps, but the experience that Boston has gone through to get here, and let's not keep in mind, I think this is their fourth Eastern Conference Finals since Jason Tatum has been there. So they've gotten deep in the postseason, and they understand how harder it gets the further you go, oftentimes because of the mental fatigue and the physical toll it takes on you to compete at this level. And we've seen it play out this past postseason. So I think the experience favors Golden State, but I don't think it's going to really hinder what Boston's able to bring to the table, because it's going to be about the ability to make adjustments. And we've seen it play out this postseason. And in some regards, I think that helps this Boston team because they've dealt with tremendous adversity, right? They've already faced a couple elimination games in this postseason, and they've responded the way you'd want a championship caliber team to respond. So I think they're excited for the challenge. You know, Golden State is looking at an opportunity to create some more history. I just can't wait to get this thing started.
So while the Warriors have been waiting for days to meet their match, the Celtics beat the Heat